Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Michael Akahane from Duallist project, and today I'm bringing you one sitting into the Fruit of Grisaia. First question to be asked and answered, as always, is what is the Fruit of Grisaia? The Fruit of Grisaia is a visual novel with a very interesting story writing and with lots of puns and jokes involved. And I mean, so far, the couple hours I've put into it have been really ridiculously funny. Let's put it this way, really ridiculously funny. Of course, you have noticed that there is an anime adaptation of the visual novel, and it's been slightly ahead of the visual novel release date in the West. Uh, you say why I say slightly ahead? Well, the visual novel came out in 2011 in Japan, and it came out in virtually June of 2015. It was, I think, the release date was May the 29th, 2015. Uh, and we have to thank Sekai Project, who with Front Wing managed to bring the project to West uh, through Kickstarter, and of course many people who supported the visual novel in Kickstarter, including myself. Yes, I am a Kickstarter backer, and I got my 80, what was it, $80 pledge for all three games, which will be released in bits and pieces. Yeah, but yeah, it's best way to clear it out. I was a Kickstarter backer, so my opinion might be slightly colored, uh, but I would say with Kickstarter projects, I'm just probably more excited for it. Uh, but I would say it's especially with companies like Sekai Project, when they're taking the project which is already on the market, not in English language, and they are going to make a translation of it, and the risk is lower. So for me, it's more of a usual purchase. Uh, so yeah, I mean, to put it this way, the way I thought I would be getting Fruit of Grisaia was like a pre-order. I mean, please do not stone me for that, but yeah, but I think with certain projects on Kickstarter, you can trust them that they can be efficiently a pre-order. Of course, you will get burned, or and yeah. I mean, let's start as usual with the look at the options menu. I mean, this game or this visual novel has a lot of interesting small things in it. So yeah, so let's start looking at the options menu. First thing is that everything you do, you click on the menu, it's interactive, and or most of the things you click onto are interactive, and they talk back to you. So yeah, sound settings. This is probably the best feature of the whole game, or I would say the best feature, meaning technical one. You can select your system voice, uh, meaning all characters. I mean, if I just scroll through a couple of them, and I mean, to be able to select through a voice guide, it's rather unique. I have not seen it in any visual novel I've read/played, and when I first downloaded it, this was like, okay, it's talking back to me. Okay, okay, so it will be repeating. Then I go check the menu to set the things up, and just like, okay, you can actually set up the system voice. And I thought, okay, this is friggin' cool. So yeah, I'm sticking with Chiru Chiru. So yeah, you know my hobbies, and of course this has to be like that. Okay, that was the sound, the text settings. Let me actually go back to sound. We've got the usual settings for BGMs, sound effects, voice. You might notice that I'm leaving the BGM off as I have recently gotten in trouble for having the BGM in my video. So from now on, there will be no BGMs in my video. So if the voice, if the VN is not uh, voice acted, there will be just me talking and probably hearing some sound effects, but that's all. Okay. The usual speed sliders. Okay, this thing is actually uh, quite hard to set up to work for you. You have to really play with it. Uh, because especially when you're reading the when you're using the auto mode, so you do not have to click on it when you just lie back and just you have to set it up properly, or just how you really to pace itself, because the system is good and bad at the same time. Then the usual, I mean, I don't know why the full screen mode is in the text, but okay, let's save it. I mean, some of these, I don't know. I mean, shouldn't it should probably have a separate category, but yeah, that's fine. They provide a good set of shortcuts. I mean, the settings is you probably won't see that. Yeah. Okay, let us start from beginning and let's. I mean, the thing is ingenious. Let me do this. Yeah. Okay. Um, you can see that I have actually sped it up the auto mode to 8 times the speed, and you can go to I think up to 30 times. I mean, this is probably, I mean, closest to my natural reading speed, or just like the speed that I like about. So just it will be running in the background while I talk about the game. To talk a bit about the game itself is uh, that you have this protagonist which we have been just introduced to, Yuji Kazami, or he will just be popping out in a moment, and he's going to transfer in his school and try to lead the normal school life in a private school with 5 other girls. Yeah, with just 5 girls and the principal. So yeah, and they go about doing really, really things. I don't want to go I mean, too deep in the story, because I mean there is a lot of things to discover in the visual novel, and I must say the visual novel. I mean, I've seen it in the anime, and I said, okay, this is really good. When I picked it up and went through what would be the first 2 episodes of the anime on the first Fruit of Grisaia, I thought, okay, this is 100, maybe even 1,000 times better than the anime. I mean, this thing is friggin' hilarious at some points, and yeah. I mean, I know that you can slot as much as, I mean, in as I mean in those 24 minutes of anime that you, and minus 3 minutes for opening and ending, and it's, yeah, but this thing is purely ingenious. I mean, in it's for the, I don't know how many powers I've put into it, something like 6 hours now, I think. Yeah, I can say this thing is really good. Though I have one bad thing to point about it, or especially about this release I'm currently using. Or I'm to be uh, to be honest. uh, I'm using Steam release, or I got my Steam key through from the Kickstarter. And to be honest, I kind of got burned by this release, and yes, it's my own damn fault, but I do not regret it too much. And this thing is not the full version. What I mean, this is not the R18 or I mean I know I'm using the Japanese rating, but this is not the I think the people from Sekai Project called it unrated version, which will be coming on different platform. Yeah, but the Steam release is I don't know how, because I cannot compare. I haven't played the unrated version, so I can say if there is something actually missing. But there is one scene early in the game, something like 2 hours into, which kind of makes less sense due to the R18 content removed. So yeah, and I'm afraid when we go to the individual heroine routes, things will get even worse. I don't know. It's just my speculation. I haven't gotten that far, and that's probably something like 20 hours from now on, from this point on now on. I've read on the forum that you are supposed to clear the usual clear time for the common route is, I think, 10 to 12 hours, so which is really long. So. I mean, there is plenty of content there, but there are bits and pieces missing, which will be available later. When I was getting my license, I exchanged email with Sekai Project, and they said the unrated version is going to be released on Dampersoft somewhere later in the year. They weren't so. I mean, they didn't provide too much info, but I mean, it's better than nothing. Uh, I hope the people who actually supported the project in Kickstarter will get some kind of patch or something. That's what I'm hoping for. Something like you could do with Nekopara, that if you bought the copy from the DL side, you can you could merge it with the copy from Steam. I didn't get was Nekopara on Steam on Kickstarter? I think there was, but I wasn't on supporting projects by the time. Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. You can actually track your progress on Steam achievements if they are implemented and everything and the usual stuff. Uh, yeah. Uh, and yeah, this is kind of the thing I do. Uh, don't want to be seeing in the games coming on. I mean, from Japan, that they are coming on and they are being catered to the Western tastes ish. I don't know how to put it this way. If you have to do that, do a double release on day one. I mean, come on, shouldn't be that hard. So yeah, that's the probably the biggest problem I have with the Fruit of Grisaia as it is. I mean, yeah, I know I'm being highly critical about this, and if there is any game or any visual novel that is missing content through when comparing its release in Japan or I don't know, in let's say there was a German game that got translated into English and it was missing some content, or the other way around, yeah, that's for me that's completely unforgivable. So. I mean, Sekai Project, you were good. You still are good at bringing games, but please make at your first corporate meeting, make a point of your agenda to solve these things. If there is R18 version of a game, please try to make it available in fullest form as possible. So, I mean, I've read on the forums that the front wing was kind of worried about letting the game in Kickstarter as R18 because it might not get paid, but I mean, come on. I mean, the costs. I mean, yeah. I mean, there is a long discussion about it, and I don't want to be talking about it right now too much. So yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the pricing now. Uh, the the current price is, I think it's £30 on Steam. But when I'm currently looking at the Steam page, it's 23, £24 because of the Steam sales. So, but yeah, that's it. You can get it 20% off because I think, yeah, because of the summer sale. So due to it being fairly recent release, it got 20% off. So it's a good thing, and yeah, so more people can grab it actually. Okay, is there anything left to say? Let me think. I don't know. I mean, we all have been following the anime, and we know that there will be other two pieces of the game, or another two episodes. Yeah, another two episodes of the game coming as well, which will be building up on the story. So yeah, I mean, I'm really looking towards it because this game, as I mean, I've seen, they say it can take up to 50 plus hours. So I think it's currently the longest visual novel available on Steam. So I mean, if you want to sink your time, I can recommend it. Uh, though in my personal opinion, I would wait for the R18 version because I'm kind of worried about the missing content. I might be completely wrong. I mean, if I'm completely wrong that the content is, I mean, there is not a piece of story missing, or a character development missing, um, then I apologize beforehand, but I have this really, I mean, as offer, I mean, if there was a scene taken out of my book that contains R18 stuff, uh, I would say it takes out of the bit of story because there is, in lots of those games, there is some character progression in those. So yeah, and I'm getting back to it. I mean, I should really get uh, back onto that. Okay, let's actually do one stuff before we wrap up. Okay, let's go to menu, load, and yeah, and let me point you to my favorite characters, which character from the series. I'll be clearing her route the first. I mean, this is just something to be shown. Okay, this is pure example how the game handles the things. I mean, let me put it onto auto for a bit. Uh, I mean,
誰ですかじゃなくて誰なの
I mean, I just loved Michiru just trying to desperately be in her character, and I think I really find it adorable. And yeah, I mean,
転校生この学校に
there are some things, I mean, technical wise that there could be tweaked up as the O2 mod and something, but I can really recommend it.
演技なんかしてないしてない
So,
ソースだから何の遠
yeah.
慮もしなくていいの
Okay, actually, let
遠
me
慮しなさい
return
ベ
back
ク
to
ト
the
ルに
title
戻らないんだか
and
らね
let's wrap it up. As I've said,
ダイヤの果実
the visual novel is available for usually £30 now, as it's on sale for £24. And yeah, I can recommend it with some reservations I have mentioned earlier in the video. If you do not mind the R18 stuff missing, then just I can wholeheartedly recommend it. Just go ahead and buy it. Don't think about it. It's worth those 30 quid. So, and yeah. Okay, this has been Michael Akahane, and thank you for listening. I know this has been really long, 20 minutes of the video, but thank you for your patience. And if you like this video, follow up the Duallist project on Facebook, Twitter, or wherever else we are, and tune in next time. So until then, bye.